Folks, it's Monday, May the 4th of 2026. Be with you. I am Connor Boyd, also known on the internet as Moschino Dorito, and I am joined, as always, by the incredible Billy Nayden. Billy, hello, how are you?
Connor, good to be here again. Glad to see you. It's just what an unbelievable opportunity we have to learn about some sports today.
Oh my God, we're gonna learn, we're gonna yearn, we're gonna talk about quite a few things, but to start it off, we're going to get a somewhat somber topic out of the way. For those of you that are fans of the legendary baseball franchise, the New York Yankees, John Sterling has passed, unfortunately. I believe it was today or last night. I'm not sure exactly.
I believe today.
And I woke up to that news, and as someone who's only really been a Yankees fan since 2024, I can tell you that when I did watch Ken Burns baseball or like any Yankees documentary, they make sure to include the very famous John Sterling, "The Yankees win," and you hear it at the end of some of the greatest World Series that have ever been played, and he is amazing. And I honestly, not as heralded as he ought to be, because I didn't really know about him until I got into the Yankees. And what a voice, what a icon for the franchise and the fans, and he'll be super missed. And Billy, I mean, I'm sure as a lifelong Yankees fan, this sucked to hear, and it probably felt.
Yeah, I think it feels like the death of an era of the Yankees, quite frankly. I mean, I'm a 34-year-old man. I've been following the Yankees my entire life, and John Sterling's always been the voice of the Yankees and someone who it's impossible to separate for me. I mean, I remember being in high school, I literally got a radio that had a delay feature on it so that I could sync up John Sterling's call with the television to listen to him because he was so amazing. And I think the thing that will resonate with me for a very long time about John Sterling, there's the longevity. There's, all these people coming out, what a great guy he was, how he lived life on his terms, things that are like really beautiful that we all aspire to. But I think the thing that's the biggest for me is in an era where so much is templated and cookie cutter and algorithmic, John Sterling was a true original. He put his stamp on an iconic franchise in a way that is not only really difficult, but feels so organic and authentic and real that I just think it'd be hard to replicate in today's environment. And so it's a guy who will be so missed, whose voice and legendary calls will live forever. But just very sad to see him go, but ultimately a guy who is just an absolute legend, as important to the Yankees as any player ever was. And to say that about a radio play-by-play announcer speaks to how good he was at his job.
He had so much aura when he talked, especially late in life. When you'd hear him chime in about the current state of the Yankees, it felt like God talking about the Yankees. It felt like the God of the Yankees talking about the team because he's seen them through so much.
The best thing I saw today was Brian Hoke, who's a longtime beat writer of the Yankees, tweeted out that he had a phone call with John 3 days ago. John's been very sick. He's had multiple heart attacks. He had lost his ability to walk. This guy is on his deathbed and said to Brian Hoke, "Tell me something, Brian. Why are the Yankees carrying two left-handed catchers?" You want to talk about a guy who lived life his way? What a legend that is. Oh my God. Unbelievable. So I couldn't have stronger positive feelings about John Sterling. It's a guy that we should all think about, and thoughts and prayers go out to the Sterling family and all of his friends and the entire Yankee universe today, because baseball lost a true giant today in John Sterling.
Absolutely. And go look up his calls. I mean, he had a pun for every goddamn player. And it was just, absolute legend, and had to pay respects, and everyone's been coming out to pay their respects, and he'll be missed. He'll be missed. And on that same topic, he was right. That is that's a very current analysis of the New York Yankees. I guess we will talk about it feels weird to talk about a legend and be like, yeah, anyways, how are the Yankees right now? But yeah, to give him a silver lining to that, he passed when they were quite good. They sent him on his way, looking great. Looking phenomenal.
There is a world where we look back on this moment in this season and look, John Sterling, I mean, will be missed, very sad, but ultimately an 88-year-old man who lived a very full, happy life, right? And left an incredible lasting legacy. There is a world where, I mean, we're in May. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but the Yankees are the best record in the American League. They are far and away the favorites to win the American League, right? You have Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon on the cusp of coming back soon. You have, guys like Caballero and Ahmed Rosario and Cody Bellinger, Ben Rice, like continuing to play really, really well. And there is a world where we look back on what happened this year and think about what a storybook ending it would be in the year that John Sterling passes to have the Yankees win their first World Series in 17 years. And I think it's a real possibility. I look at the way that this team is structured. I look at baseball about a month in. And like I said, don't want to get ahead of ourselves. There's a lot that could change. There's a lot that could go wrong. But it is really hard to point to anything about the Yankees and be upset right now. And also that sense of urgency we talked about last week, Connor. I mean, I'd love to get your thoughts. Like the Anthony Volpe news, I think is seismic for people who followed the Yankees the past few years.
I really wanted to get to that. And I wanted to say before, like, it's so weird. You sent that meme where it was like every type of sport, oh, my team's bad. And then like the last one is baseball. And it's like, oh, this is because of the curse of the old whatever. And it's like, there's something so inherently spiritual about baseball. Maybe it's because it's so old. Maybe it's because it's so superstitious. I don't know what it is. But I felt a mix of things when this happened. And one of them, I'm maybe slightly ashamedly to say was exactly that, was like, you look at something like that and you see a spiritual sign. You take a spiritual sign of that. And I think, like if he's on his deathbed talking about how there's two left-handed catchers, this is what John Sterling would be talking about if John Sterling died as well. I mean, like he would not, I would not have to feel shame that kind of thought would cross his mind, because Billy, this team doesn't look like, I mean, not this team. This organization does not look like it has for a long time. You want to talk about signs, Billy? Talk about a fan move. Talk about what is it called in wrestling or in a show where they do something that's fan
service?
You want to talk about fan service? Anthony Volpe getting optioned for, what is it? Triple A? And Jose Caballero effectively becoming our full-time shortstop? Do you know how good every goddamn Yankees fan feels to hear that?
Well, here's the thing. We've talked about it. There is a sense of urgency with this organization right now that hasn't existed in years. They've been very complacent. They've been patient about, well, we think this guy will come around. He will be good. He will do okay. That is not happening this year. You are the best player for the job on that given day, or you don't play. Like, obviously there are rest days worked in, and, managing workloads, and, people get off days and, normal baseball things. But like, there is no more, oh, we're going to let him work through the slump. No, you slump, you go down to the minors. You go sit on the bench. You are gone. You are not playing for this team unless you are trying to win every single day. That hasn't been the case in years, Connor.
Yeah.
Years. And it is changing the way that people view this organization. It's changing the results on the field. And the biggest thing is you're seeing the fan noise go way, way down. And these guys are just able to play baseball. And that is what's going to make this team successful down the stretch.
You really could not have said it better, because I never thought that noise affects the play, and it does. And you know what? It feeds on itself. Like, the good vibes feed on the good vibes, because I'm not sitting here watching Devin Williams blow every fifth game or every third game or whatever it is. I'm not really watching anyone in particular be put in a position to fail over and over again. We're not flogging ourselves, driving us insane, doing the same thing over, expecting different results. And I mean, you really couldn't have said it better. The players are they're just playing, and you know what they're playing for? Results. Like, they know that if they get results, they get moved up in the lineup. You know, they know that's all their focus is. They're not playing to shut up narratives. They're playing to play. And then I mean, let me tell you something, Billy. You don't think Ben Rice is firing up Aaron Judge a little bit? Who the fuck is this kid? This kid's gonna be a threat to my MVP race. That's percolating right now, Billy. There's percolation.
How
under
about
that.
this? Jason Dominguez hits a home run over the weekend.
Oh my God!
You think that's not causing like a little bit? You don't think Grisham's looking around saying like, I got to pick it up?
Oh yeah, because let me tell you, buddy, I'm getting real sick of seeing that one spot with a 1 in front of the batting average. Like, I know he gets on base, quote unquote, even though he's getting on base at 300 right now. Like, I know he gets walks and he has good at bats, and he's an impactful player. He's a very impactful player, but he can impact off the bench. Jason Dominguez can catch a ball and we're done if he starts swinging like that.
And so it's like one of these things where it, like, to your point, it all flows downstream. Like, the idea that like professional athletes in general, first of all, these are people obsessed with their sport. That's how you get there. These people are obsessed with baseball. You think they're not reading headlines or seeing social media or you have to actively think about blocking yourself from that. And then at the same time, even if you're able to get all the outside noise, I'm not watching TV, I'm not reading articles, I'm not looking at social media, you have to face media members after the game. They ask you questions.
They grill you.
It's New York City.
Yeah.
They ask you questions.
Yeah.
And these guys are getting easier and easier questions, and they're able to focus on, how do I be the best teammate? How do I be the best ball player? How do I help my team win? And play a lot freer, a lot looser, a lot more fun. I know a lot of people don't like it, like too much music at the stadium, too many distractions. These guys are enjoying their baseball and enjoying playing with each other, and you can tell. Let it happen, guys. Yeah. If it comes to July and we're losing, 10 games in a row or something, and we want to say, hey, we need to do less music, I'll start to listen to you.
Right.
But let them enjoy the good vibes around this team right now, because it's something we have not had in so long. And there's been such desperation and such pressure to make these decisions that the organization's finally making. Let it happen and let the guys enjoy the good vibes.
Yeah. And I think the team is really, I think Aaron Judge, wants the team to have more of an identity than it does. I think he has to be that kind of austere leader, the stoic leader. But I think it's much better when a clubhouse is having fun. You see Judge get home runs. He's looking at the camera. He's pointing at his jersey now. He's getting a little cocky. That's really what you want. And I've heard critiques that the team is dry and doesn't have an identity. But since I've personally been watching the Yankees, they've had an identity. Sometimes it's not been a good one, but they've had an identity. And the one they have now, I'm just praying is not exclusive to April and May. At this point, all I'm asking for is the car to keep its wheels turning and to keep this up. Because I know it's a law of, large numbers. There's no way knock on wood, they do, but there's no way that they keep this low of runs allowed, because that is, I think they're leading the entire league in terms of pitching.
I believe they're number one.
Yeah. That's not talked about enough. That's insane. They're also top 10 in almost every category with offensive numbers too. They are truly, and it's it always comes back to this conversation because we get ahead of ourselves. I mean, you look at the Dodgers, they're not, we've said it every episode, but they're not impenetrable.
They're not even the best team in the National League right now.
Right.
Atlanta's the best team in the National League.
Yep.
Atlanta's the only team, I believe, in the entire league that's top 5 in pitching, top 5 in hitting across basically every major statistical category. They have an 8.5 game lead on the division. Like, I don't know. Like, if you had the playoffs start today, I am not picking the Dodgers to the World Series. I'm picking the Atlanta Braves. I'm picking the New York Yankees come out of the AL. I think the AL right now looks exceptionally weak. Like,
it does.
I think the Rays are a bit of fool's gold. I don't believe that they're going to be able to keep this up over the course of the season. Tarek Skubal is going to be down for 2 to 3 months. I think it's going to severely hurt Detroit. And then it's like, you look at these other teams like Seattle, like Texas, like, am I really supposed to be terrified of these people come playoff time? Like, if we lose to them in the playoffs, like, I'll eat it. I'll eat the crow. But, like, you look at that on paper, there is no way you're taking them over the Yankees.
Yeah.
It's not close. And then you look at what Atlanta's doing, and it's really unbelievable, and they're going to get a bunch of pitchers back. They're going to get healthier. Ronald Acuna is not going to be hitting like this the entire season, I promise you.
Yeah.
And so, like, when you look at that and you look at what it would take for the Yankees to just get into the World Series, like, it's very, very, the path is so clearly there, and it's there in a way that it hasn't been in a long time, in my opinion. Like, I think this is the easiest potential World Series path they've had in a long time. And then once you get in that 7-game series, like, we saw it. Like, we saw it last year. Toronto was not close to as good as the Dodgers were. They lost that World Series by 6 inches. 6 inches. And so,
over and over again, too, by the way, and several times.
If that is the gamble that we're taking, if that's the coin flip, sign me the fuck up, Connor. Yeah. I'm there. Because, like, that is how I'm feeling right now. I think we could walk through this American League the way that it's currently set up. I think there's ways that we can even improve this roster come the trade deadline. And I think if we can stay relatively healthy, we have such a clear path to the World Series. And to your point, nobody's unbeatable. But this, like, megalith Monstars Dodgers team, it's not real. That's not who they are.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't exist in baseball, no matter how many of these guys you get.
Right.
Because this is a weird sport where weird stuff happens.
Like a lockout. And we might, you never know. You could win the last one before a major lockout. Yeah, any other baseball topics or conversations? I mean, you brought up Skubal. That's going to suck for the Tigers. I mean, no one's really turning a massive page. I haven't looked at the stats yet in terms of, like, the last 10 around the league. But, I mean, it's still kind of, like, you kind of start going, like, maybe this isn't just, the beginning of the season. Maybe this is kind of like a indication of what the rest of the season is going to look like. But yeah, no one's really on a long win or loss streak right now. Like, the longest win streak is like 5 with the Cubs. And like the longest loss streak is like 3? Someone has 3 maybe. I think it's the Mariners have a 3-game loss, or it's the Giants have a 6-game loss. Damn, they're doing awful. 382 winning percentage.
Terrible.
But yeah, man, you just hope it keeps up, and you wonder, the way the pitching's going, the way even you're getting hits here and there out of Jose Caballero is playing amazing defense. He's hitting. Ryan McMahon's starting to hit here and there, at least have, like, worthy at-bats, and, I'm sure Trent Grisham will turn it up. He needs to, less the Martian, like you said, steps in, Jason Dominguez. And you kind of wonder, is the team, are all those vibes helping the team develop the players as well, because some of that gets in the way, like if from up top, you're having that sort of Devin Williams scenario where a guy's not getting benched. It's probably hard to, like, fire up other talent or fire up talent in general, knowing that kind of bullshit's going to transpire.
Here's the other thing that I'm really had a close eye on. I've had a close eye on, but, like, Bednar's back touching 97.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's kind of looking back like the David Bednar that we always knew that could come in and get you 3 outs against whoever, right?
Yep.
And so I think Duvall is still a little hit and miss. I think there's stuff to figure out there. But if the Yankees start to really hone in this bullpen and you feel reliably good in 6th, 7th, 8th inning, watch out. Yeah. Because the starting pitching's as good as any rotation in the league. The lineup's as deep as any team in the league. And the only real weakness is kind of that setup guy, 7th inning, middle relief a little bit.
Yeah. If we Jake Bird lane or
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. Tim Hill. If we figure that out, watch out. Mm-hmm. Because this team is looking very complete. And I think the pressure to win is so high and so much higher than it's been in previous years. And I'm really excited to watch. I'm really excited to see what they're able to do kind of week to week here and obviously sit here and get to talk about it with you.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll tell you, if they can hone in Camilo Duvall, that 8th inning is locked. Like, that guy, when he's on, is disgusting. I saw that meme where they were like, the announcers of the opposing team were literally like, for the Orioles were like, how, or I don't know if it was the Orioles or what team, but they're like, how does this guy have a 6 ERA? And it's like, well, because his breaking ball is so hittable. But when he's throwing sinkers, it's just unhittable alien bullshit. So if they can tweak some things with him, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, it's been quiet. You know when these bullpens are fucking up because you're agonizing over it. You're having to watch them eat it. And so far, they've gotten out of trouble. David Bednar gives me a lot of faith as a 9th inning guy because he gets out of jams. He gets out of massive jams even when he's struggling, which I think is a sign of an incredible, like, elite pitcher.
Agreed.
If when you're slumping, you can still have the tenacity to get the bases loaded and then get out of that somehow and win the game, you're fucking nasty. I mean, like, having the bases loaded is a nightmare. And he gets in jams like that. But yeah, the velo going up is fucking huge. So, man, we really get to talk about Boston a lot these days, Billy.
Yes, we do.
We got to talk about some Boston baseball last episode. But this episode, we get to talk about some Boston basketball. Oh my goodness. I was in a hotel room and I watched damn near every single minute of that Celtics versus 76ers Game 7 at TD Garden, might we add. Whoo, boy, they really thought they were coming back. I was scared. I was like, oh shit. Because they were losing by a considerable margin, got it within 2. Legacy series for Joel Embiid.
Has to be, right? And like, I hate to put that like legacy series on a first round series, right? Because I mean, this is not like, that's not the goal, right? To like win in the first round. But like, the guy is just like, the Celtics have had the Sixers number, Embiid's number, like the entire time he's been there. And like, I hate Philadelphia sports teams. And this was fun to watch this kind of like scrappy Sixers team that everyone has been like, they're losers, like kind of beat the team that everyone thought was going to come out of the East.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they were going to come out of the East, right? Yeah. Like I said, I think they're going to play in the finals. Mm-hmm. No, they're not. The only finals they're playing in is in fucking Cancun, Connor.
Dude, I like am shocked how like Joe Mazzulla has let this happen. Or like just how that has, because
you want
it's
a spicy take? I got a really spicy Mazzulla take.
Give it to me.
You've called this out before too. I don't think he's that good a coach. I think he won this title with like an unbelievable roster put together by Brad Stevens, right? And like clearly it was a roster that couldn't get held together because like with the luxury tax rules and the aprons and the way they work in the NBA, like you were never going to keep Porzingis and Holiday and Tatum and Brown all together and Horford, right? And so you've had to replace these guys with scrubs. And like what's happened is like 3 out of the 4 years he's been the head coach, he has the 1 year he won the title. 3 out of the 4 years, they've lost to teams that I would argue had less talent than Boston.
Yeah.
And so, like you lose to the Knicks last year.
100%.
You lose to Miami, like that first year with Mazzulla, and you lost to Philly this year. And like, I know you're thinking about this. I think they went 13 for 49 from 3.
I mean,
like in Game 7.
How do you not pivot? How do you not adjust? How do you just keep chucking it up like that?
Because there is no adjustment. There is no plan B. Like, that's who this guy is. He plays this, like, 5-out offense that, like, if that doesn't work, it doesn't work. And, like, they don't know why. I like, think about, like, your reel that you made, like, a year ago of you doing jump shots in your apartment of just, like, the Celtics bricking everything, dude. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. And even that series against the Knicks last year, it felt like the death of the three-pointer a little bit. It felt like, okay, you can't just do this anymore because there's big men on the court, there's tiny men on the court, and there's motherfuckers like Tyrese Maxey who, when they're driving to the bucket, look like they're on a motorcycle. They look like they're on wheels.
I mean, like,
I've never seen someone so fast and score so quickly.
That's the thing. Maxey looked unguardable in this series because
100%.
if you pressed him, right, he'd go right by you. Nobody could stay in front of him. And then when they started playing the drop coverage against him, he was a three-point machine. So, like, there was no way to guard that guy. And, like, that's what I'm excited about in this Knicks series is, like, this is truly, to me, like, you're going to see two, like, star matchups that are, like, the guys are, like, foils of each other, right? Brunson against Maxey. And then Embiid against Cat are going to be really fun narratives, really fun battles between four really great basketball players. I mean, all-star level basketball players that are going to go directly head-to-head, where this is not a situation like that Celtics series, right? Their best players are wings.
Right.
Like, Atlanta's best players are wings. So, like, you are going to see big versus big, guard versus guard in a way that we didn't get in the East in the first round. And so, like, that's going to be such fun basketball, and I can't wait to watch it.
No, I can't wait to watch it. I think game one's probably starting, like, in 40 minutes or so as we record this. But, yeah, I it could be just me being a lesser informed basketball viewer, but I don't know. I don't take the 76ers lightly. Like, what I saw them do to the Celtics, I'm like, y'all better be on your ass because you're going to blink and Joel Embiid's going to drop like a 38-point game on you. I mean, that guy's unstoppable when he's hot.
And he could score at will.
Yeah, I mean, it's like unreal. And like, I don't know. They have beaten them in the past, but also it's like, dude, they came back 3-1 when that guy got healthy. I mean, and that's the first time in Celtics franchise history they've ever blown a 3-1 lead. And the first time I think the 76ers have ever come back. And wasn't it like the first time they had, or no, I'm probably thinking of the Pistons, but yeah, but I don't take them lightly. I don't, as a Knicks fan, I'm sure you're not sitting here ever confident about anything ever. Which I don't blame you.
I'm not, as a Knicks fan, I'm not always confident the sun comes up tomorrow.
Right.
But
bet the over on the sun.
Yeah, we'll go over 1.5 suns. What?
You lose that.
May the 4th, Tatooine. So I'm going to make you smarter here as a basketball fan.
Give it to me.
Couple things. Number one. The top four of the Sixers, Maxey, Embiid, Paul George, VJ Edgecombe. You know how many games they played together, Connor, this season?
How many?
17.
Wow.
So these guys have really not played a lot together and are really starting to gel. And I think you saw that at the tail end of that Celtics series. So that's something I'm nervous about, right? Here's the flip side of that. Go look at this Sixers roster past those four guys.
Right.
Because it is bare. That cupboard is not full. And the Knicks are a very deep team. The Knicks play 8-9 guys on any given night. They run deep rotations. They played a lot together. They can run you ragged.
Right.
And like, 100%. Am I nervous? Am I like on watch out? Of course. This team just beat the Boston Celtics.
Right.
Like, that's a good basketball team.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of faith that by games 5, 6, 7, when you have Cat elbowing you in the chest every night, going for offensive rebounds, and you have the Brunson Bridges Hart fast break where they're running you ragged, and then they could throw Deuce McBride at you for 12 minutes a game, or Landry Shamet or Jordan Clarkson, these guys who are going to go up against literally like replacement level players on the Sixers.
Right.
Like, I think you're going to start to wear down. Yeah. I think it's going to wear on them. So, like, no, I don't think this is like Knicks in 4. I'm not sitting there saying like they're going to dominate. This is over, blah, 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 blah. But I think when this gets down and you're kind of playing night after night against this Knicks team, I think you're going to start to see the fatigue set in where you can't have like 4 guys can only carry you so long.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's very true, and it's interesting because that just makes the Celtics look even worse. They're not that deep of a team and still lost to them. I mean, this has been a crazy first round. I mean, basically, OKC and Spurs were the only dull series. They had fucking Mad Dog out there being like, these need to be 5-game series. And then we get like 4 game 7s. And it's like, yeah, dude, they need to be 7 games. Like, this is insane. Like, you know, like Embiid coming back. You have the Magic making it 7 games. But, I mean, Detroit, you were saying also, speaking of gelling, I think you might be more afraid of Detroit than even 76ers, right?
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but like I don't love that Cade Cunningham struggled for the first 4 games of the series and then said, oh, that's right, I'm all NBA guard Cade Cunningham, and just started dropping 40 every night, looking like his old self. That's scary. The thing that I have hesitation with the Pistons on is like Tobias Harris is their second option. Mm-hmm. Really?
Right.
Like, you know, him? Like, that's who we're worried about here? Like,
Yeah, he was scoring, and, like, I was seeing posts where it's like, Unk still got it. I'm like, oh, second option.
Yeah, like, Unk had it at one point, apparently. I don't know. Like, and I'm sure there's plenty of Sixers fans sitting there like, that guy stinks. So, like, I just don't, like, it's hard for me to believe that that team is going to, like, make real noise, but, like, the Cavs looked extremely vulnerable.
Yeah.
Extremely vulnerable. I don't think Toronto is a great team.
Right.
Like, like Cade Cunningham's the best player in that series. Like, do you think Donovan Mitchell's decidedly the second best player in that series?
I don't know. I would. There were many parts of that series where I'm like, Donovan Mitchell's doing nothing right now. Like, he's just like disappeared. Like, that guy's supposed to be so fucking good. And he is good when he's good, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's also like James Harden is on the team. It's also the Cavs. Like, I don't know. It's just a random team.
Yeah, like Harden is like a notorious playoff choker, right?
Yeah,
like
so many turnovers. It's crazy.
Like, and you know, I just don't. I think this is wide open, and I think the beauty of this is like, the Cavs, of the 4 teams remaining, the Cavs are the most recent finals appearance, 2018. So all of these teams haven't been to the finals in decades.
Right.
And so, like, you're going to make a fan base very, very happy. And then on the West, these matchups in the West are unbelievable, Connor. Like, talk to, like, what has your eye over on the Western Conference?
Well, it was the Nuggets losing. And honestly, like, the Jokic shit is like, his stock price went down, man. His stock price went down bad from that. Because, like, bro, the conversations he gets put into and the way he is talked about is crazy to lose to a team like the Timberwolves. And in the way they did, where, like, so many of their guys are injured.
Yeah, you're, like, losing to a team whose best player is Jaden McDaniels. Right? Like, it's no slight to Jaden McDaniels. I think he's a very underrated player. But, like, it's shocking, like, for a guy who's, like, widely considered an all-time great.
Yeah. And it's like, you see the conversations now where it's like, dude, if LeBron did that, or, like, if Michael Jordan did that, it'd be insane. But it's amazing, like, just what can happen in the playoffs. And then, you know, I'll tell you, there's nothing my heart wants more than for the Lakers to beat OKC. Don't we all Don't we all want that? We could probably solve world hunger, world peace if that happened.
This series is like made for you because this is such like internet discourse NBA basketball of just like Oklahoma City is the like most like unethical like like style of play of just like the foul baiting and like they don't have great personalities and it's just like the internet hates these guys. And then you have like, who is our chosen hero? 41-year-old LeBron James.
Literally Kratos.
Like, who is like, I mean, I know what you're hoping. Like, you want this so bad. Like, so like this is the NBA thing I think you want the most out of this season.
Borderline. Like you're saying I almost want this more than for the Knicks to win.
Yes, I think you want LeBron to beat OKC more than you want the Knicks to win.
You know, it might be close. I'm not gonna lie. I really want the Knicks to win, but I feel like they will win. But someone has to beat OKC first. It's either got to be the Lakers or the Spurs have to meet them in the conference finals and beat them there, because. I don't know, man. That's another conversation. OKC versus Knicks. I feel like there's an existential dead end when you're thinking about the finals. It's like, but how can anyone beat the big bad OKC? But it's like, I don't know, man. We've talked about it before. We were talking about that one video, his statistics when it comes to odds and outperforming those and things like that. If there's literally anyone that can do it, that's what's absurd.
So what's the stat? It's LeBron over the course of his career. No one has outperformed their Vegas odds more than LeBron.
It's something like that. We'll have to look it up, verify it. Maybe we can drop the TikTok video over here. Go watch it. It's fascinating. But essentially, the conceit is that, it's to account for the kind of degradation of like, you know, statistics over time. Basically, the league getting harder, parity going up, what have you. It's basically matching all these different Vegas odds in terms of like playoff series and things like that. And LeBron James just totally outperforms everybody in that category. So it from a narrative standpoint would be insanely sweet and cathartic and amazing. I would then probably want this. I don't know. You want the Spurs to win the conference finals. You want the Spurs to go to the finals. That I also wouldn't be mad at. It's just a weird, kind of incredible, chock full of narrative playoff series or playoffs in general right now, because there's like 3 teams I'd be happy winning this thing. I mean, it's kind of crazy. There is.
And, like, I think there's something to be said. LeBron is an underdog. Like, all these times he's been counted out, and they said he's done. And, like, you know, it's been floating around recently. There's a guy who tweeted, like, oh, well, thankfully, LeBron's 33. This won't be going on much longer.
Right, you're right.
Spoiler alert, it did.
Yeah.
You know, I think, like, there's something to be said. Like, I'm not sure if you saw this clip, Connor, but he looked over before hitting the game-winning three-pointer against Houston. Yeah. And looks over at the bench and just says, I'm locked in. He is such a different level of competitor than basically anybody else.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not counting him out. Like, I think if anyone's going to find a way to beat this monstrosity of Oklahoma City, who's loaded with lottery picks, and they're long and they're big and they're this, that, and the other thing, and they're the defending champs. If anyone's going to figure it out, it's going to be LeBron.
Yeah. I think it's a very long shot. I think there's a high likelihood that they just pummel them. And if they do, you know, it'll be upsetting to watch. It'll be a bummer, you know, if he's getting pummeled in what might be one of his last or the last season of his career. But I'll tell you, if he can take it to 7, that should be nice. If he can at least make it 7, make them scared, win a couple games. That'd be pretty nice. But yeah, man, I'm having a blast watching it. This is really when like in high school, my dad and I would start watching these like every night, because it's just the NBA playoffs. It's really this time of year when it just gets crazy. The energy in like Detroit, for example, was just through the fucking roof in that Game 7. You can tell that city is really hungry for that. And there's narratives all over the place that I'm interested in. And yeah, it's gonna be wild to see potentially the Knicks maybe going to the finals this year if they can beat the 76ers. But I said to what will basically be my future father-in-law, I think the Yankees and the Knicks are going to win this year. And he laughed, which is perfectly a normal reaction. Frankly, that's a normal reaction. Like, that's perfectly fair. That's perfectly fair. He went, ha! Like, I heard him just laugh. That was all he said. And I'm looking back, and I'm like, if there were a year where that could happen, there is literally not a single one where it looks more like it than this year. Maybe like when they went to when was it, 2000 that they went to the
99.
99. So that was another year. You haven't had
that Knicks team, first of all, that was a lockout season. So it was a weird season, right? Where you started late, it was limited games, guys came in very out of shape. That Knicks team was an 8 seed who made a run to the finals and got smoked by the Tim Duncan and David Robinson Spurs. Like, smoked.
Ouch.
Like, go back and watch highlights from that finals. Like, not good.
Yeah.
Not good at all.
Oh my God. Billy, we didn't even bring it up. You want to talk about smoking somebody. 61-point lead. I don't think did we already talk about this?
We have not.
We have not even brought this up. Holy shit. You want to talk about smoking something? Bro, they're swinging with a 50-point lead. They're swinging on people. They're fighting. I've never seen anything like that in my life. You texted a screenshot of that, and I was like, did they get bombed? Like, what happened? Like, is there an emergency and only half the court kept playing? Like, what the hell is going on? I've never seen anything like this.
I have a lot of thoughts on this. The people will say, like, a loss is a loss, right? This, I promise you, it's not going to be everyone, and it's not going to be, like, the franchise and whatever. There are players on that team that loss will have demonstrable effects on their career. I truly, truly believe that. It will sit in the back of their mind. And, like, this could be good. This could be motivating. I'm not saying it's going to kill people's careers. Right. But, like, that sits with you. Like, I'm not sure if you saw the interview with Mikal Bridges afterwards where they said, like, you remember, like, probably having this, like, happen in your career. And Mikal was like, yeah, I lost in Phoenix. He knew it immediately. Yeah. That famous meme of, like, Luka Doncic doing this.
Yeah.
Like, that happened to, like, Mikal Bridges was on that Suns team that got blown the fuck out in a closeout game. Like, right. How you get blown the fuck out on your home floor, like, in a closeout game that badly. And, like, that has to give you so much confidence if you're the Knicks, knowing that, like, you came out and you just had so much more energy, right?
Yeah.
Like, so much more.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, Dyson Daniels, but just, what are you thinking?
Wait, say it again.
Dyson Daniels, you're down 40. You're swinging. Like, you're starting a fist fight, getting thrown out of the game. Dude, like, you have hopefully, like, 15-year career ahead of you. Like, keep it together, man. Yeah. Like, I get getting frustrated, but, like, that was just, like, it was such a bad look all the way around for that Atlanta team. And, like, has to give you confidence as the Knicks moving forward, because you have to think if you have your best stuff that night, you beat anybody in the world.
Dude, they were the thing that showed that I think was it felt there was something magical, wouldn't even be how I would describe it. There was something almost eerie about it. Like watching a great boxer beat someone to hell, or just watching someone pull off a freak trick or feat that you just didn't even know was possible. Like it was like in Dragon Ball Z when someone like punches someone to the ground and just keeps punching. Like it was straight up like it was some shit where I was like, they are showing so there is no team that plays harder than this fucking team. They play hard when they are up 50 points. They play like there's 2-point lead with 30 seconds left for the entire game, Billy. Like if I'm any of these other teams, I'm like, this is gonna be a war of attrition that we're gonna lose. Like there's over 7 games. If you get that team to a game 6 or a game 7, a closeout game, you're fucked. You are fucked.
I think we are going to look back, Connor, and if you are correct and the Knicks make this push to the finals, right? I think we're going to look back on those games 2 and 3 against Atlanta where they blew fourth quarter leads and lost by 1 point. And we're going to say the reason that they learned how to close out games and figured out how to dig deep and figured out how to put these teams away is because of those games. And we were very sad when they happened in the moment.
Right.
But I think we are going to look back on that week worth of games and say that's where the Knicks became this championship caliber team.
Yeah, 100%. And the writers of Knicks basketball, the television show, are brilliant because to be able to withstand like 2 1-point losses in a row to a team that's your underdog and then come back and be like, no, like you're getting fucking pounded for the rest of this series. It's not even going to be close. It's not even going to be fun for you. Like that truly says something to me. Like it's like when fucking Trunks shows up and just kills Frieza immediately. Like that's what it felt like. It was like, no, we're actually more powerful than you even thought. We just slipped up for a second. Like, they would have beat the shit out of Boston. And it's like so funny, all those memes about, the Joker missing Batman and all that, and like, like we're kind of bummed we don't get to face Boston and have that storyline because I don't think they were going to lose to Boston, bro. I think Boston got honestly a back-to-back beating. They were saved from a back-to-back beating. And honestly, that might have looked even worse than what happened to them if they got beat yet again by the exact same team that knocked them out last year. I mean, talk about Joe Mazzulla looking bad. You get one championship, but you lose twice to the Knicks. Does anyone care? I mean, does anyone give a shit? Yeah, man, it's quite something. And I really think the team is just special. When I'm watching in real time, I'm like, this team is going to be talked about for decades. Like, they're so iconic. They look and they have the feel and they play like a team that wants it, that wants to make their mark, that wants to have that that ultimate kind of like destiny. And the way Jalen Brunson's an underdog, like the way he was drafted in the second round and he's now become just this incredible star. The city's ripe for it. It feels like one of those storylines where a city that's been waiting for a championship is really, truly on the cusp of one. And just enjoy it because it may actually happen, and you never know when it'll happen again if it does happen. So you really got to enjoy this, enjoy what you're watching. And I feel the same way about the Lakers, frankly. Like, I get really sometimes watching LeBron James and look at this, I'm like, I can't even soak this in enough. I really can't. And we've talked about LeBron to death, but that's why this just feels like such a pivotal, memorable NBA playoffs, is that all these things are happening all at once. But yeah, any final thoughts in the NBA? We can move on to, I believe we've got some NHL stuff to talk about. We got a little Kentucky Derby results as well. One really funny thing about the Kentucky Derby, by the way, is that Elmer Rodriguez's cousins won it, got first and second place.
Yeah.
And he said he was more nervous for the Kentucky Derby than he was for his own first major league start as a pitcher. And I just think that's very fascinating. I don't know if you watched the Kentucky Derby, but it was on before the game.
Yeah, I did. I enjoy the major horse races. I'm not a horse racing guy by any stretch of the imagination, though I do look like a jockey when I stand next to Connor. And
I a horse.
I wasn't going to go that far, but here we are. The thing that I think was fun about this year's race is like there wasn't a clear favorite, right? And so I think what you saw was like a very competitive race, and like that final stretch. Like I've watched that video of like the last final run by the winner like so many times, and just watching him like cut through lines of horses, and like that's rare, right? Like you typically don't see a guy who's like in 10th going into the final turn who like comes out and wins it. So like it was an awesome, exciting race, and I think like there's controversy and problems in horse racing, obviously, but I think it's something where these are such like fundamental American cultural moments that like that's why we do this show. That's why like we have these conversations, and like the Kentucky Derby is such a shared moment to me where like nobody knows shit about horse racing. Mm-hmm. And you all sit around and you pick a horse because you like the name or you like the number or you like the color or the position, or you heard some podcaster say he was good. And, you know, you pick and you say, that's the one I want to win. And then you watch this, you know, 5-10 minute long horse race, and that's it. And you put it away for a little bit. But like in that moment, we finally have like a shared monoculture again. Mm-hmm. And there's so few moments of that like, I'm glad to see the Kentucky Derby like continue to be a part of our world and like being played in bars and a cultural phenomenon, because at the end of the day, like we don't have all of those. We don't have like everybody watching the same TV show like we used to. We're consuming the same media. And so everything that we can do to like still have those moments where people from all creeds and colors can like come together and watch like what's a very, very American event. That's always, it's fun. And so I really always enjoy the Kentucky Derby and thought this was an especially fun year and a fun race.
I think that's what I've gotten into more and more about sports and in general is, you know, like, yeah, we do have such a fractured media landscape where we're just consuming things on so many different platforms. And yeah, when you can interface with people that are all watching that Derby or the Yankees or anything, it's something that we have lost a little bit, and it just enhances it, and you appreciate it more. And those kinds of stories, like with Elmer, those are always super interesting. And yeah, I think you're right. Like it's great to like have things like that. I even think like some of these stock car races, like even Daytona. I was in Daytona while Daytona was happening, and just having it on the TV and how big of an event it is and how psyched people are for it. You know, it's not my thing, but it's like there's not a lot of things like that. You know, there's not even you know, there's been all this Michael Jackson conversation recently, and it just reminds you there used to be a time where everyone would know about one thing sometimes. Like that actually truly happened. You can compare him to like people now, but there's millions of people with millions of people as an audience who no one knows about. So it's just a different world. And yeah, that kind of lineage, I mean, that's part of the reason I like baseball, because it's like this thing's been going on for a minute. Tell me about the NHL, because speaking of Boston, I heard they didn't have such a good time either.
They didn't have a great time, but like this was a little bit different than the Celtics, where like they were expected to lose to Buffalo, and they did. And you know, it's I haven't. Every Boston fan I know is way more torn up about the Celtics than the Bruins. I think there's a few things I have my eye on. Sadly, Sidney Crosby out, lost to the Flyers. Don't really know what his future looks like. I think he'll be back in Pittsburgh for another year. But again, much like LeBron, a guy who we should cherish these final moments, like a true all-time great. So any chance you have to kind of soak up the Sidney Crosby next season, I think is a good use of your time as even just a sports fan or a casual hockey fan. I think the other thing that I'm really focused on is Edmonton. The Oilers, Connor McDavid, a guy who's made, I believe, 2 Stanley Cups in a row, lost the gold medal this February to the USA, is now out. And Edmonton's in a worse position than ever in terms of the makeup of that team. I think there's a lot of conversation of, if Connor McDavid doesn't literally win the Stanley Cup next year, does he leave? Right. The best player on the planet, right? I think there is a lot of intrigue there, and it's very reminiscent of kind of like the Cleveland LeBron years, right? Where if you remember, or even like the A-Rod years in Texas, where you had this great player, he elevated his team, but ultimately he could never get over that hump. And, you know, I mean, you spend a lot of time on the internet, as do I. You know how people treat you when you can't win the championship, right?
They almost would prefer you get knocked out in the first round than lose in the championship.
The two things I want you to keep an eye on, Connor, as we head into this next round of the playoffs, and knowing you are as casual gets as a hockey fan. Two of the best fan bases in the sport, the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens, are going to play each other. This is going to be a dogfight. The fan videos out of this are going to be unbelievable. It is going to be such good content.
You have to send it our way because we've been all collaborating. If you've been following the I Might Know Ball Instagram, which by the way we have an Instagram, a YouTube, and a TikTok. If you've been following it, we've been posting a lot of these brutal AI mocking clips and all kinds of good stuff. So make sure to follow because what used to be spam on my main account has now gone to this account. So I've spared some of my audience of it, and it's quite good because. Yeah, I'm really excited to see some of these hockey memes and things like that.
I mean, come on, dude. Western New York against Canada in hockey. We're like, that's a great time.
Yeah.
The other one that's kind of a fascinating situation. Colorado Avalanche had the best record in hockey this year. They won this thing called the President's Trophy, right? The President's Trophy winner has not won the Stanley Cup since 2013. In the 40 years that they've given out the President's Trophy, the winner has only won 8 times. So that means like 75% of the time, the team with the best record in hockey does not win the Stanley Cup. They're playing the Minnesota Wild, who are a very good hockey team. The Avalanche scored 9 goals last night in game 1.
Wow.
9.
That's a lot for hockey.
It's a lot. So I know a lot of smart hockey people have all told me, Bill, this Avalanche team, their top 6 skaters, this is the team to beat. But I'm circling and saying, no, don't make me tap the sign. The President's Trophy winner doesn't win the Stanley Cup.
Right.
So I am fascinated. Yes, but that's the parody of hockey. That's what happens when you're playing on quarter-inch blades on ice, shooting a frozen rubber disc into a net. Like, I'm fascinated to see if they can pull this off and they can continue to do this. So those are my 2 series for you to watch, pay attention to. Avalanche Wild, Sabres Canadiens. Lock in, Connor. It's time for you to pay attention to some hockey here.
Oh no, I think I might have to. And maybe we'll feature hockey a little bit earlier on the episodes for some of you fans out there. I feel like we're always ending the episodes with hockey, but hey, we're talking hockey, you know, we're keeping it in there. And we just really, really appreciate all the engagement, all the views, all the just comments, the support. If people texting me that they like the show, it's just awesome. If you've watched all the way until now, let us know in the comments. And also contact at I Might Know Ball with your questions, with your conspiracy theories, with your just hate mail, whatever you want. Send it our way. We'd love to check it out and just, you know, chat with you and maybe bring some of your questions on to the episodes and talk and read them and who knows what. But yeah, we've really been enjoying this. We are going to keep putting these out. I mean, we are going to keep putting these out. So subscribe, spread it around, you know, word of mouth. Tell people about it because we want to keep doing this for you, and just and if you enjoy it, we're not going anywhere. So you know, give us some love so that we can keep going perpetually. Thank you so much, Billy. Another great episode. I can't wait to just keep track of some of these series. Keep watching the Yankees. Keep watching the Knicks, the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs. Lots of good stuff happening, and we'll see you next week. Thanks again, Billy.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Connor.
Yeah. See you later, guys.